All right, hey guys, so I got a new video segment series I want to start doing. This series is I take pre-made e-bikes. Actually, my wife takes pre-made e-bikes, sends me the list of components, pictures of the bikes. I go through them, list all the spec, and say about how much I think it should cost. And then at the very end, she tells me how much it retails for and see how far off I am, how close I am. Obviously, there's many variables on this. Some bikes are very one-off. They're pushing the limits of e-bikes, and they're gonna charge more for that. The point is this is to kind of give you an opinion on how much it should cost, and then if you're willing to pay that extra $200, $300, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 for that technology that this company may be providing in their e-bike. If you're new to this channel, I'm Johnny Nerd Out. I'm a professional e-bike mechanic. I convert bikes into e-bikes. So that's the way I go. So obviously I am partial to custom made e-bikes. I just think they're the best way to go. They're the best value, the best performance. So yes, I am biased, full disclosure. But still, if you are just bent on buying a pre-made e-bike, I'll still help you. Like, I'm not here to like hate on you just because you want to buy a pre-made hub-powered bike. Maybe that's perfect for you. So I just want to help you so you don't get ripped off doing that. Whatever you're deciding to do. So let's get started. This one is hardtail e-mountain bikes. Okay, these are the bikes we have. Okay, Trek E-Caliber 9.6. Okay, that's a nice looking bike. Obviously some design, they're gonna get some design points for this. Some R&D went into that. Looks like high components. So mainly I wanna look at the mechanics. The bike on this, I'm gonna guess is about, retail would be about a $3,000 bike. It's got 4-piston hydraulic brakes. Okay, Dior. It's got some pretty high-end bike specs. So this thing is probably, I'm gonna guess between $300 to $3,500 if it was just like a bike. Now let's add on to the motor. Looks like it's a mid-drive 250. Okay, this one's a little bit tricky because they don't say how big the battery is or even what voltage it is, but I'm guessing it's a 36 volt system because it's a 250 watt motor. It's a mid-drive motor, which is good. It doesn't say how big the battery is, so it's kind of difficult, but I'm gonna say motor, I'm gonna add another $650 on. So let's say it's $3,500, I'll add another $650 on, that's $4,150. The battery, it's hard to say because I don't see any specs on this. Doesn't look very big, but I'll throw on another $550 in good faith. So that'd be $4,150 plus $550 is $4,700. $6,500. Okay, that was off by about $1,900. If you think there's $1,900 more worth of bike in there, you should buy this bike. Okay, Pedego Ridge Rider. Okay, here we go. We got some specs. Okay, we got a motor, 48 volt, 500 watt hub motor, and a 48 volt, 14 amp hour battery. Okay. Let's see if there's anything crazy. It's got Shimano Dior drivetrain. It's got Magura 2-piston hydraulic disc brake. Okay, so I'm gonna say this bike, I'm gonna give the bike $800 value. The motor, I'll add on $250. The battery, it's 48 volt, 14 amp hour. I say $450. So $250 and $450 plus $800. $1,500. So I think this bike should be about a $1,500 bike if they're, and that still leaves room for them to make a healthy margin. So let's see what they got it at. $1,500, and Pedego Ridge Rider goes for $39.95. Oh my God, I was way off. Okay, so Pedego is not going for value. They're definitely not going for value. Wow, interesting. So if you think that there is $2,500 worth of bike in there that I'm not seeing, I would, man, how are they charging that much? Okay, next up we got the Biktrix Juggernaut Duo Classic Step Over. Okay, we got a 750 watt hub drive motor, Shimano 9-speed trigger, Shimano. Battery's a 48 volt, 17.5 amp hour. So they're not really getting deep into details on anything here, which kind of, if you're not bragging about it, usually it's not worth bragging about. I'll give it a $900 value on the bike. It's got front and rear lights, racks. Let's go 1200. I'm being generous. I'll go 1200 bucks on the bike frame, just on the bike. The hub motor, it's a 750 watt hub motor. I'll give it 350 bucks for that. You can buy these kits on Amazon for 350 bucks. That's why I'm giving them these values. So let's go, what did I say? Did I say 1200, 1100, 1100, 1200 plus 13 plus 350. Let's go 1550. And then it's got a 48 volt, 17.5 amp hour battery. I'll give you 600 bucks for that. So we're at 1550 plus 600, 2150. 2150, I think. Okay. 2762 is what they're asking. It's not crazy off. I thought it'd be like 2150, 2200 bucks. I was off by 500. I was off by like 20%. I'm not crazy off. I wish this thing had a mid-drive on it, which on this picture it shows a mid-drive on it, but I think that's a wrong picture. Saunders MSMXS. I like Saunders. They usually do a lot of good value stuff. So this one I think they're gonna be better on. Okay, hub motor, 750 watt hub motor. 48 volt, 17.5 amp hour battery. So battery, we're giving it a $600 value. Motor, we're doing 350. So we're at 950 right now with motor and battery. That bike doesn't say if it's like name brand anything, so I'm guessing not. It's got hydraulic disc brakes. It's got a good tire. All right, I'll say the bike is worth, it's a hardtail. Let's give it 900 bucks. 900 bucks. 900 plus 950 in electronics. They're pretty good at value oriented, so I'm gonna say it's gonna be 1900 bucks. I think this bike is, you could sell it for about 1900 bucks. 1800. Okay, see, this is what I'm thinking. Saunders is, they don't rip people off. At least with Saunders, you get what you pay for. Saunders is the only one that I was under on. Good for you. Diamondback Response. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this one, it's hard to see, like without seeing it. I'm gonna say this bike would be about, man, I don't know, 2700 bucks. Everything they went into like this frame and design and everything. Battery, power tube 500. I'm guessing that's a 500 watt hour. Bosch motor. I'll give it 650 for the motor. The power tube, 500. Bosch is a good motor system. I'll give another 600 for that. So it's 1200 bucks for the motor and battery. The bike itself, let's go 1900 bucks for the bike. So we got 1200 for the motor and battery. I'd say $1,900 bike. This would put this bike at 3,100 bucks, 4,100 bucks. Okay, that was off, obviously. If you think there's another $1,000 in that bike, might be for you. Magnum Mi6. Got a dust kit for a 500 watt motor. Okay, so the motor, it's a no-name motor. I'd give it like a $300 value there. Battery is 13, 620, 450 bucks for the battery. So we're at, let's go 3 and 450. We're at 750 for the components, for the motor and battery, 750. The bike, mechanical disc brakes. All right, so the motor, the battery, the bike itself is kind of, it's entry level mountain biking. Probably I would say $500 bike. So the motor and battery, 750 plus a $500 bike, 1250, I would say, is worth of bike. $16.99. Okay, not too bad. Bulls Twenty9 EVO 1. Okay, this has got a 250 watt mid-drive motor, 500 watt hour battery, so neither one is very powerful or big. I give the value on the motor and the battery. Bosch is a higher end though. They have higher standards when they make their stuff, but it's just, you're not getting power with it. If that's not what you're into, then just know that that's not what you're getting. 900 bucks. 900 bucks plus the bike. I'd say that looks like it's about a $700 bike. Yeah, about a 700. So I'd say, what'd I say, 900? 900 plus 7, 1600 bucks. I'd say this one's about 1700, 3900. Okay. Maybe those down tubes are made of gold. If you think there's $2,000 in that down tube design, or something in here that I'm missing, wow, that's a lot of money. What are you getting for that? Everything is like low-end stuff. Suntour, unless these are not the right specs. Are these not the right specs? I don't know. Everything is Shimano Alivio, a rear Shimano Dior. Okay, they're decent. Maybe it's a, okay, maybe I'll say it's a $900 bike. You know what? $900 bike plus 900. Isn't that what I said? 1,800 bucks? Whatever. I don't know how they're charging that for that. Moustache Samedi 27 Xroad 5. Okay, another Bosch mid-drive, 250 watt mid-drive motor. These are for European brands. Bosch power pack 400, so it's a 400 watt hour, 36 volt. Oh, battery watt hour 626. Motor, I don't know. I'd give it a, like, say, so let's say this one's worth $900 for this one because Bosch is higher end, but it's really weak. It's $900. So it does have integrated front and rear light, fenders, rear rack. That's pretty nice. Okay, I give this bike maybe a $1,200 value, maybe $1,300 for this bike. It's a nice looking bike. $1,300 plus $900, $2,400. Final answer. $5,600. Wow, for $4,600. Where are they? This is where I don't know where the money is coming from. Where are these prices coming from? Like, how much are you spending on R&D? Why does it cost that much in R&D? You have to, like, even if you charge $2,100 for this thing, you should still be making a good profit on this, like a good healthy profit. But at $4,600, you're just not going to sell any of them. Who's going to buy this? Giant Fathom E Plus. Okay, so you know that it's going to be a good bike. Like, the bike is going to be a good one. But this is the thing, like, you get a good bike, but then they always skimp on the electronics, like the motor and the battery. 36 volt, 13 amp hour, that's a puny battery. The motor doesn't really say anything about the motor. Well, I'll give it the best case scenario. I'll say it's a killer motor. They don't give any specs on it though, but I'll say it's a $650 motor. The battery isn't very big. 36 volt, 13.8 amp hour. I'd say that's $400 battery. So $650, $1,050 for the motor components. It's a hardtail mountain bike. Still looks good. I'd say I'll give it $1,200 for the bike. $1,200 plus $1,050, almost $2,100. I know that this is gonna just piss me off. $2,100 for this. No, 27. Okay, that's not terrible. I was really expecting it to be something crazy. So obviously, like, these prices, the prices that I'm throwing out are what I think you would pay retail for that exact motor. I'm not saying that that's what it necessarily should cost, but I'm saying that's how much it should cost for the motor. If I was a manufacturer, how much I would price it out as to be competitive and still make a good profit. Those are the numbers that I was throwing out from a designer standpoint, from a business standpoint, throwing numbers out with the bike that if they were charging those numbers, they should still be making good profit. Anything more than that, they're making a killer profit, or their overhead is just insane. But obviously nothing compares to the value of buying a bike and then converting it yourself. That's just going to be the best value. If you don't want to do that and you want to buy a pre-made bike, hopefully you guys found this helpful if you were thinking about buying any of these bikes. All right, thanks guys.